Welcome to Yaru Create Week 2, Validate. This week, we're going to put in some time and figuring out our ideas and putting our ideas to the test. We're going to talk to real people, gather some proof, and see if the ideas that you went through last week will actually stick. So we're going to end the concept of theory, and we're only going to be searching for real signals, real feedback, and real growth. All right. So today, let's jump right in and start validating. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and introduce to everyone is going to be the GPT that we released for week 2 validate. Straight up, that's the name of it. So you can find it on the Discord, or if you came through our email invite. If you're not on the invite list, you can message us in Discord. We can get you on that list so that you're one of the first people to get link or quick access to the GPT as soon as it's out. A few of us have already gone through the validate GPT, and basically to brainstorm our approach on how we get to the real signals, the real feedback, and the real growth, essentially, right? So here we have some familiar faces. Sorry if my words are slurring. We have Kit, Calvin, and Pan. Welcome, all of you. And today we have a guest here with us, Morgan. Welcome. Sharon's also joined the call. So quickly, I wanted to get some feedback quickly on what your experiences were. I know Kit, Pan, you guys went through the validate process. Calvin, you also went through it. So maybe we can get some quick feedback. What you guys thought about it so that we can sort of ease into the GPT.
I can go first. Basically, the GPT is pretty easy to use. It's if you use the previous two GPTs, it's pretty much the same thing. Right now, it's basically one thing is that you will have to tell it again what your idea is that you want to validate. And you can ask the previous GPT to give you a summary and send it over to the latest one for validation. And yeah, it's actually very straightforward, a lot more straightforward than the previous two. That is me. Anyone else used it?
I can go. So I'm experienced the same thing as what Calvin did. I did two of my projects. So one of them is for the Web3 grant, and the other one is the car ad idea that I had. I realized that if you give it a lot of context, it doesn't have a lot of follow-up questions. So when I give like the full context for Web3 grants compared to the one with the car ad, where I don't really have a lot of messages to talk to ChatGPT with, they ask a lot of follow-up question compared to the one with the Web3 grant where I had the whole full context, and basically like they don't really have a lot of follow-up questions, just more like next steps, like step 1, 2, 3 on what I had to do next.
Okay, that's an interesting observation. How about you, Pan? What did you find? Okay, interesting. Quick shout out. Welcome to the call, Alyssa. I know you're right behind me in the office, but welcome to Yaru Create Validate. Quick questions for Morgan and Alyssa. Did you guys have any have the opportunity to go through the GPT? Maybe share some thoughts or your experience with it.
Yeah, I thought the custom GPT was great for particularly like the way it asked and broke down questions, like having a sparring partner essentially that every answer you give it results in the next set of follow-up questions. So it's like this logical flow, and you're just kind of building up this context in one thread. Is super. It's mostly useful for revealing, which I think is core to any starting of a business, like the core assumptions. It's always like one of the biggest failure modes in any startup business is just those core assumptions that you go into it with, and you think, oh, this will definitely work because X, Y, Z. Just having a sparring partner in that custom GPT to be like, well, hold on a second, have you thought about this? Like, what about that? You know, and then actually getting into the tactical, you know, executional side of things when you push it to go that direction. Yeah, I thought it was super useful.
All right, I think that's a very strong point actually that I want to highlight is going from ideate or the idea phase of Yaru Create or any process of building something period. Oftentimes we'll get that energy like, I got this great idea, it's going to be the next big thing. But actually putting it through the work and like asking the tough questions, like is it validated? Is it something that potentially has something in that we can cook up and essentially. So yeah. How about you, Alyssa? Did you have some time to go through the validate?
You muted.
Why my Google
that
like
working?
it's not can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I can't unmute myself on my
Morgan's
I don't know
mic,
why.
yes.
Yeah, just
Yes, I found it helpful. I did I think last week's one, and what was really helpful, so I'd already had a little bit of the idea written out, but it was quite long, and I think what was really helpful was that the GPT helped me synthesize it in a way that cut out all the fat that I didn't need in there, and that was really helpful because it made it more focused. And now I've got a summary that more people are likely to read and give me feedback than what I had before. But yeah, similar to what Morgan was saying, I think as well, just having questions in there that best tests the strength of different part of your idea, basically, has been really helpful.
Alyssa's already been doing a like what is it, a test group? No, a focus group, and to validate your idea already. Yeah, I still have to give you my notes. I haven't had the time, but I'll send them over.
No, that's all right.
I like
I think
what
that's
you
like
how you. I like how you described your process with ideate just now from the session last week, is that it helped synthesize your thoughts. Like for me personally, I have that experience where my thoughts are sort of like a very messy mind map, and it's just all over the place. Only I understand what that mess is. And so it really helps to sort of like bullet point it out and sort of clean it up and iron it out so that it's consumable for other people. So yeah, I think that was a really good approach. Sorry, Calvin, someone just jumped in. Do you think you can continue real quick? Sorry.
Oh, so, interesting. Are you all right? Everything okay on the other side? All right. Now that we talked about it a little bit, maybe I can show you guys what my GPT looks like. So with the thing that I'm validating, of course, from last week is that I am going to do the gym clothing brand. Restarted at least because I already have a following on TikTok, and I'm building another one up as well, more of my showing my face instead of just like a faceless channel. And yeah, so this is me going through the GPT. It was very shorter than and basically I didn't even have to type this out. This is already the question, pre-made question. So type, just basically clicked on that. I have an idea, help me decide whether it's worth building it out. And it basically asked me, what is your idea? Who do you think it's for? All this. And this is copy pasted from the other from the list of this project basically and
Oh,
brand
that's a very
overview.
interesting
I asked.
approach.
Yeah, so I mean, this all my project is information is all in here in this folder anyway. So yeah, just give me a rundown of what ZenLift is. So I don't want to just talk about it or type it up again. Instead, I copy and paste it into here, and there it knows pretty much everything it needs. And good start, clear niche. Now test. Basically, it asks me if I want to do a giveaway or pre-sale, or waitlist and visual concept test. Both of these are good, but I opted for the waitlist because less in the validation stage, if you spend as the least amount as possible, it's better. So waitlist over pre-sale. Give waitlist then pre-sale. So good. We'll validate through waitlist first. Product name. It asks follow-up question about what ZenLift is really, and feelings. All this is so that it can give me a lovable prompt. I told it exactly what I needed, and it gave me a prompt for lovable. I asked it to change the copywriting so it's not too cringe, and it did. And a little bit of the formatting. And this is the prompt added into lovable, and here we have it. No graphics yet. All this I will have to replace by myself. But the cool thing about lovable now is they have a integration with Shopify, so I can just export this to Shopify, replace all the images, and I have a waitlist pretty much done. So that is all. That is it. Very simple, and most of the work is already done.
That's a very interesting approach that you already had the project folders about your brand there. And this is a gym clothes setup, correct? Like it's actual
Yes.
like merch. Okay.
E-commerce, yes. Actual
Okay.
merch. So waitlist is the better idea.
I just saw that Lovable is in collaboration with that's very interesting with Shopify now.
Yeah. So basically Lovable uses Shopify templates.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Is there anything that sort of like stood out to you as you were going through the process? Like any questions you had, or what like how do you feel before and like after, now that you've actually gone through the validate process? Is it actionable, do you think?
Oh yeah. Technically, I mean, like in my head, it's the journey is always like you always overthink the process. I didn't even start the waitlist website yet because I was dreading like having to vibe code it all. So no, it was pretty easy. So it worked. It worked out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you went through the validate process as well. Like, could you share your journey? I'd love to see it from your perspective, like with projects that you're working on. Like maybe we can do like a quick show and tell, I guess, different projects, just quick here and there, and see what we can gather from each other.
Sure. I can let me try to share my screen. I have 3 million tabs on. Give me a moment. Is it this one? Okay, I think I'll share this one. So okay, here's my project. What I'm doing is basically it's OOH or DOOH. If anyone who doesn't know what OOH is basically out of home, and DOOH is digital out of home ads. But every time when you go out, then you're going to see the billboards. That's pretty much it. But we are doing this for cars. That was my idea. So what it was, I was trying to connect drivers with brands. So I will be the platform to create that. I haven't migrated this to Lovable yet. That's something that I'll do right after. So what the option that they have is basically like offer something for free, which is also the same thing as Calvin. Um, it asked me to let me hang on. Sorry, can you hear me?
I think,
Yes.
yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay. All right. I think I thought Mike was gone. Hang on. Yep. So it says testing, give it to 5 to 15 real drivers. And I think it's the same thing. It's the same response from with Calvin as well, right? Like not friends or family, just like any people who's actually, just like random people who's actually real drivers or real users for in terms of Calvin's case.
Okay.
Yep, and it says validate to commitment. Um, so yeah, actually that's pretty much it that I did for this.
Nice.
Okay,
Cool.
cool.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea,
So
basically, but
yeah,
I
so
think the
for
best
you,
to
it's like
do
sorry, Kevin, go
the
ahead.
the next step would be just imagine reaching out to like brands and see if they have like out of home marketing people. You might just send them a
Yep.
message, just like, "Hey, what do you think? Would this be something that is interesting for you?"
Yes, that's where I'm going with next. And then probably create some go to Lovable and create the app that we can do this and connect the drivers with brand, and we can add something to shore as well in terms of visual.
Nice.
Speaking of which, I wonder.
Neat project.
So I noticed right now that you're on the standard use for ChatGPT. I wonder if you ask it to continue. Like, go ahead and type. Like, can you create a simple waitlist page for me or a prompt or something like that, and see what it does, and then maybe you can put it into Lovable as we go through some other people's stuff, and let's
Create a-
swing back or swing around later and see what will we get from it. Maybe we get something more
Okay.
tangible for you.
create a
So,
prompt.
so can you create a prompt
Nice.
for
Lovable.
Lovable?
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, okay. And all right. While it's creating the prompt and like I throw this on in Lovable. Anyone wants to share their part?
All right.
Yeah, Pan, you want to step in and share your GPT experience?
Yeah, I can try. Maybe let me share.
So Pan's
Oh,
gonna
can I share
quickly
this?
share his screen. Maybe what
I
I
have
can
to
do
ask
is
the
I can
hosts
jump in
actually.
here. Okay. While we set that up, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here and actually share my experience with it. So what's going on here? My computer is acting up. Sorry about that. All right, cool. So last we spoke is I went through Ideate with a potential business idea that we already had, we meaning my family. And for those who are familiarizing themselves with myself, my name is Will, and my wife is a Qingdao person, and essentially that's a outskirts city of Chiang Mai towards the north. And our family basically owns like a large area with a bunch of avocado trees, and so that's something that I brought to the Ideate from the beginning, because we have a product, and I'm just trying to figure out how to now put it into like a kick it in the butt, for lack of better terms, and make it into like a proper business, because we have a product, we just need to bring it to market. And my whole goal of bringing it to market is to cut out the middleman, right? Because the middleman what they do is they go to local farmers and they, pay pennies for these products, and then they sell it for a huge premium to different vendors like, supermarkets, restaurants, direct consumers and stuff like that. So the idea is we want to create our own brand essentially, and we want to figure out how we can bring it to market ourselves and cut out that middleman. So with that being said, I totally missed the whole queue. I missed my own queue. So the whole point of me was to show my photo of actual avocados that we have. So we actually have a product, right? And you can see that these avocados, this one is actually a decent sized one. We actually have like bigger avocados, and they're obnoxiously huge, and they're all natural, by the way. They're not like fumed up, if you know what I mean. They're actually proper organic avocados. So I continued my journey with Validate today. So here's the screen for that. I'll walk you through what I did. I want a simple checklist for this week's validation assignment. And what this was as soon as you step into the GPT, I'm sure a lot of you noticed that there's a few starting buttons at the beginning. Like if you don't know how to start the conversation, we've already set up a pre-select button, right, that you can sort of walk through and feed it your information afterwards. Let it do the talking first, right? So here it basically defined for me what it is to validate. So it doesn't even know that I want to continue the avocado idea, right? And so it's telling me that things I need to look for are basically, is there something that I can do to collect signups for? Is there something that I can offer for free during my day two, the day 2 of the week, essentially? Is there something that I can do in terms of like reaching out to people? If I can message like 10 to 15 people that are not close families or friends, like literally outside people. I will have to be honest, this kind of terrifies me a little bit because I don't know who to reach out to. Most of the people we've sold to in the past are either family or friends, or like friends of friends. So like they're still closer in the connection.
You should,
if you know what I mean, the network connection. Yeah.
You should target like the Mexican restaurants around Cholos, like what is it? There's tacos and nachos and tacos, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for the Mexican
That's actually a
restaurants.
really good idea. That's
And then
definitely
hit
a
up all the
fantastic
cafes.
idea. Yeah. And so that's kind of like the first main thing, right? Like we have a product, and we've had like I'm gonna call it preschool type sales. I know someone who really loves avocados. Like for example, if I knew Calvin back in the day, I would just, hey Calvin, I got some avocados fresh from the farm. You interested? And he'll say, yeah, sure. Send me over 2 kilos, right? And so he would pay me, and then I shipped them from farm to his door. And usually that's how it worked. Like it was just either coworkers or friends and families or friends of families, etc. They're always like in a close, tight knit, right? And then obviously it's sort of giving me the idea. Oh, did my screen stop sharing?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Sharing again. And then as it loads up, it basically is telling me to like, is there something that I can offer for free? So go ahead and like reach out to these people and see if I can offer my product for free. And then actually take note of like who is like interested in actually receiving these products. And it stopped sharing again. I'll try to share again later. I'll keep talking about it though. It asked me to keep note essentially of like who was interested in the product, right? Who wanted to purchase the products or wanted a free sample, essentially, if I were to give it for free. Yeah. And basically that's where it was, right? And for me at this stage, it was still sort of broad because if you remember, I still haven't like told the GPT yet that my idea is growing the avocado business essentially. Show my screen. That's fine. All right, cool. Hopefully it doesn't do anything this time. So what I did here is basically I prompted it and I told it that I have a business for avocados already, and the idea is to bring these avocados into newer markets. So aside from B2C, right, we want to bring it to like a B2B type market. So Calvin, like for example, you mentioned restaurants. That's the direction that we were thinking about. Like, how do we reach out to these restaurants? How do we get them to because these are going to be people who need this product in stock. They actually have a demand for it versus like a want for it. So that's sort of what I gave it. And it broke it down into two different markets for me. This first one, it said for business buyers, and it said existing market, and then for restaurants is the new market. So in my opinion, it kind of read what I wanted correctly. So for restaurants as a new market, but I didn't quite understand what it meant by business buyers. And so I basically just ignored everything and said, let's clarify that my existing market is consumer buyers. They're actually individual persons or families. And so I had to just sort of redo that prompt or the response, right? To clarify that the consumer buyers is the existing market. These are literally like people that I knew. And then the new market would be like restaurants or like supermarkets, etc. And it's giving me the two options, right? Free trial week or commitment conversation. And I'm assuming that's sort of leading towards like a what is it called? Waitlist. So in this case, it was kind of maybe for me, because in honesty, our product has already been sold. So I know the product can sell and there's actually a want for it and a need for it. So like the offer for free wasn't really an option. And the wait lists, I'm not too sure how I would develop the wait list was sort of one of my concerns, right? So like both of these ways weren't really working well, especially for the consumer end. But as I thought about it, and one thing, Calvin, you pointed out, I started realizing myself as well, like my prompts are starting to get shorter. My responses to GPT are starting to get shorter. But anyways, as I thought about it, like potentially a wait list, I was also on the drive. Like I halfway went through the GPT and stopped because I was trying to actually figure out what I wanted between like a wait list or like giving stuff away for free. We've already done the free giveaway for avocados in the past. It worked really well. We have a lot of testimony. So there's a lot of things that we kind of already have. We have a product, we have a bunch of testimony, we've sold in the past, we have like market rate and stuff like that. And so we're just really trying to tap it into the new market. And what came to mind was like, all right, we can continue with the wait list, but into like a 2.0 version. So like avocados version 2, or I don't know, avocados 2.0. It sounds very cheesy, but that's sort of the idea. And what it did was it basically gave me the option to like figure out if there could be an outreach script or like create a waitlist page that I could sort of send out to people and start reaching to people out with. And on this waitlist page, essentially, my idea would be like, I already have like actual, real products. So I have images, I have testimonies, I actually have connections to people who have actually tried the avocados and said good things about it. So I can include all of that essentially into like the wait list, right? So get people hyped up on that aspect. And that's sort of everything there. It gave me like a 5-step process to what I could do with the restaurant. And so I think somewhere up here, when I was thinking about the idea of like a free giveaway. So in the end, what I did was I sort of jammed the two ideas together. So what I thought was, for restaurants, because they already need to have avocados on stock, I said like, what if like I were to offer a week of free avocados for the restaurant, right? The restaurant here has a win-win situation with me potentially. I take the lose, worst case, but ideally the win-win is the restaurant has zero investment for that week for avocados specifically. They save on that week and they get to try out some new avocados, and potentially I get a new client, right? And then I too also got sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, not bad. That's pretty good.
And then I too also got a prompt, which I'll show you guys in the next screen.
An offer they can't say no to. Pretty good.
Yeah, free avocados. Cool. And so I basically copied and pasted the prompt as is from the GPT here. And then I let Lovable do the work. And then it this pretty sick website, color coded it with avocados in the background and everything. There's probably a lot of like details I probably want to change in here, but this is definitely something good. Like I definitely want to add testimonies and stuff like that in my opinion. So Yeah. Overall, I think like it's already kicking me into the right direction.
Yeah.
I feel excited for it, and like there's already like plans in my head like what I can do next about it. So yeah, essentially, and that was
If
my journey.
I
So
were
yeah.
you, I would
Yeah.
suggest to like ditch the wait list. Pretty much if your main offer is like free avocado testimonies for a week, basically
Mm.
have that be the headline and sign up. Basically you will
Oh,
have to vet the people they're joining in, and yeah, the power goes to you who you want to work with.
so
If it's
basically,
like a
I'm just
restaurant and it's
recovering the adding a new face to the wait list. I'm not calling it a wait list. I'm calling
yeah,
it
you're not wait
free
list, basically
avocados.
short
I like
list.
that
I don't
idea.
know, man. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And but yours is a little bit different. Your validation isn't exactly your product has already been validated. Now it's about validating the offer.
Yeah,
Not bad.
exactly.
And also, now it's trial and error who your clients are. Yeah,
Yeah,
there are
for
a
sure.
few like just e-commerce people that would be interested in this as well. Paleo Robbie would be, if you could get your avocado listed on Paleo Robbie, would be great too.
I have no idea
Yeah,
what that is. Now I gotta look
pretty
that up.
awesome. Yeah, dude. There's so much you
Maybe I
could do with this.
tokenize the farm in the future.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Right?
Fun. Do you have are you able to figure out the screen share setup yet? No?
Yeah, Robbie
All
looks
good.
sick. I need to buy my meat from there.
Paleo Robbie's great. Expensive though. There's like
Okay.
cheaper options.
I think it's worth a check out if it's something beneficial.
Yeah, and they usually work with directly with the farms.
Yes, this is mine. Thank you. Git. Yeah. So actually, I did my project in about podcast in like a short book story podcast, but it's actually the world's first short book podcast in cinema. Actually, I put it in on cinema on my thesis project. So I just want to expand more audiences by different stuff. So I don't have an idea yet, but actually, I plan at that time to expand a bit more. But actually, from doing using the validate tool, I can see but more clearer ideas, some kind of like how to uh, expand about my audiences in terms of like the one who can buy my service in some kind of audio stops as well. Maybe Kit, you can scroll it down a bit more. Yeah, you can see by like I have an Instagram as well. So I just choose my like yeah, I don't know how to scroll down. Yeah. Reach to some kind of listeners more and get some kind of comments more, and actually
A quick
some ways
question.
to approach people in.
This is a book?
Yeah. It's not a book. It's actually a sound that is put in cinema because I feel like the world is too loud and I want people to get relaxed on this kind of thing using my
Mm,
voice and others characters in but telling in like a short book storytelling. Yeah.
got it. Have you put this idea through week one, the idea yet?
Not yet. I'll try.
Okay. I think it's totally fine. I think you're on the right track here. But maybe you can bring it through Ideate, because what Ideate will do, just to backtrack for everyone who's just joining us, we are on week two of Validate, and so Validate is going to be more of like like Morgan said, right? Putting and what Alyssa said earlier is like a stress test on the ideas, right? So maybe if you were to bring your idea through Ideate first, sort of like a concept of it, and then have it ask like all the difficult questions in terms of like, because some questions I remember it'll ask you like, what's something you saw people paying money for? Where are people paying for it, right? if you get through all of that, essentially what it does is it helps you define a basic foundation of who your audience is, what potentially the product could be, service, etc., whatever it is. And then you can bring that over to validate and have more of a concrete execution next step sort of thing. So I wonder if maybe you backtrack the idea into ideate, go through ideate from start to finish with this storybook idea. I think it's a great idea, by the way. There's probably a bunch of people who would definitely find interest. This is definitely a niche product, which I think is beneficial in this Yaru Create program, right? Because the whole goal is to help you grow different ideas and products into this niche, pathway. To find validated and how do you say it? There's a term, marketing term for it, but like qualified leads or like qualified people that would be interested in the product, right? So if you brought it through Ideate, I think it would be a great start. Could you maybe go to the top and could we look at the prompt that you put in? Okay, great. You started with like, what is validate? I have an Instagram channel. So sorry, I'm just gonna go ahead and read this out so that everyone sees what I'm looking at, right? I have an Instagram channel on my final thesis project focusing on podcasts for sleep. I have different child book stories that been totally produced by me. I want to expand to audiences, larger groups, as my project only showed not over 500 audience on my thesis show. I will make more stories and hopefully gain more audience, right? I think if you copy and paste that and go to the Yaru ID tab and see what it pops out there, you will have more of a better funnel or like a guided path into the validate. And I think it's very important to highlight that it's okay that even if we're on validate week, but you have something that needs to go through Ideate a week before, I would urge you like to do that first. Like there's no need to rush it, right? Iron out the details and slowly walk through that process with it. Yeah, so it'll ask you like the top 5 questions and stuff like that. So yeah, Ban, if you want, you can start answering through that. So
Thank you.
yeah, for sure, man. Sorry, and then go back to your validate. Let's continue going through your process and see where it took you essentially. I'm still interested to see what validate did for you. Yeah. Oh, did I ruin the link that you had open?
It's the second one.
Oh, it's the second one. Yeah, go to the validate
Second
one.
chat. Underneath, expanding podcast audiences. Validate your idea.
No, validate. No, it's the under that one.
There you go.
Yep. There you go. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, Ban, go ahead and continue. Sorry, I cut you off, but I'm interested to see what you got from it and what your viewpoint is of it for validate. Oh, the screen disappeared.
Give me a moment.
Yeah. Or Pan, maybe just let me
try.
know what you thought of it. Like, what was your opinion, or how you felt after going through validate?
All right.
Are there still more questions you have, or anything like that?
Playing around with it, I found like some more options to play. Like, how can I reach more people? Like, potentially, like, so I'll find it a bit. So they said like you have to reach out to some 10 to 15 parents who might interested in using this as a bedtime story audio for their kids, and reaching out by emails or maybe some kind of social media platforms. And I think it's a great opportunity to find it for me. And also I might create like some kind of wait list page where people might interested in these kind of stories and have an access in early access. Yeah, and that's some kind of plans that validate helps me on this part.
If I may, what I would suggest, and you can take the idea how you want. For something like this, it sounds like you've already done a few stories before. Like you have a few product items already? You have some stuff that's already been produced, correct?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a for finished audios
I
and
wonder if you can
graphics. Yeah.
package that into like a free trial or like a demo setup rather, and see if like the parents enjoy it or are okay with it for their kids, right? Like I'll tell you now, I have 2 kids at home, and I'd be interested to see how this would benefit them at home. Because so the reason why I think this is a fantastic idea is there's a lot of content out there for kids now. I try to limit screen time for my kids, but as the world progresses, kids are unfortunately exposed more and more and more and more too much now to screens and screen times, etc. And this is actually a very niche pain point. Again, it's a great topic, Bun, similar to Kit and Calvin, where it's a very niche pain point that you're able to support, right? And that niche pain point is, as the world progresses, there's a lot of content out there that the kids are consuming. And ideally, unfortunately, there's a lot of uncontrolled content that younger kids maybe are not ready to consume yet at their age. But you being a developer of potentially positive content for these kids would be super beneficial, right? One of the ideas that I had in idea as well was similar to this, but I think you actually already have research done, like with the thesis and everything on the idea, where mine was more of like on a phonetic side of things, right? So it's like creating that, positive content for the kids. So I think this will definitely be an interesting project for you, Bun. Sorry, I wanted to jump in real quick and ask Morgan and Alyssa, like, is there anything in your validate GPT that you went through that stood out, or you want to share, or anything like that?
Or projects you're working on?
I haven't gone through the GPT itself yet, but I can still share because I'm sort of validating in the background anyway. I think I was a bit impatient. I started before we got on this week, but I think for me, like basically I'd had this idea that was based on a problem that I was seeing with a lot of my friends. So a few of my best friends feeling very kind of stuck in their circumstances. They want to, they need some change in their life, and they don't really know like where to start, and they have like a real analysis paralysis of like different options and da da da. So my idea was around basically trying to de-risk that for them by giving them a realistic idea of what different life paths could give them. So the idea is an experiential AI platform, which sounds very like vague. What the hell is that? But it's like a combination of basically audio and visual cues to kind of go through a realistic week in the life of let's say if you've changed careers or you've moved to Bangkok or whatever. So I just wanted to get a little bit more data behind the problem, so to validate the problem, to then understand whether that solution is the right one and whether that's something that is going to be welcome or needed or anything like that. So yeah, I basically used ChatGPT to help me with my scripts for my focus groups, and I'm kind of feeding the results back into my official, like my, let's say, proposal summary of the idea itself. So it's almost like a bit of a cycle where I'm using all the data from the validation that I'm creating to then refine my solution effectively. That's helpful.
Okay, definitely a very good insight on that one. And through your first focus groups, how are you capturing all the data, if I may ask, and where you're storing it for your later use to develop it?
I'm using an AI tool called Fathom, and that basically joins the meeting, transcribes everything, sends me a summary, and then I can dig into the scripts as well. And it's free if you only use like 5 meetings a month or something like that, which will be perfect because I'm doing 3 focus groups. And then I'm also actually taking notes myself when I hear nuggets, because I think the thing with these summarization, that's a word, tools, is that they sometimes omit like little details that you think, oh, this is like really good, because it kind of summarizes based on, I don't know, like what was said, like what were the points that were made, but there's certain nuggets and phrases that I've been writing down myself. So yeah, mostly AI, but a little bit of manual in there as well.
Okay, cool. All right. So next thing that I wanted to quickly go through is I wanted to bring up the actual GPT. I know a lot of us had already gone through the GPT, but I also wanted to bring the experience to those who are like, just watching and don't understand what the GPT is, what does it look like, and how do I go through it essentially. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again. This time it's gonna be a GPT that's sort of empty, right? And something I did last week, I want to do again this week is I want to go through this as a group. And you guys can sort of like either raise your hand or just unmute yourselves and just sort of blurt out how you want to approach it.
Can we do like a
and I'll sort of
random
simulate
project?
it. Sure, 100%. Let's go ahead and just simulate it so we understand the process and potentially help people understand what to look for and what potentially they can get out of Validate. Go ahead. I have the screen ready to go. Tell me what I need to do.
All right, validate an idea. What that idea is, let's go with something to do with clowns. Clown school?
I have an idea to start a clown school. All right.
Yeah. Very
Help
niche.
me
And also you can't find them in
validate
Thailand right at the moment. I don't think.
that. Seems like this does not exist in Bangkok, Thailand. I think. Word for word from Calvin. And I'm going to go ahead and send that away.
I'm guessing is going to throw us a wait list.
Oh,
What you already know.
7-day. So this one says, let's walk through a simple 7-day validation plan to help you test whether people actually care or will pay for this. I love how it's being very direct, Kelvin.
Nice,
Also
okay.
highlight what you know so far. All right, cool. You believe there's a gap. You think there is no existing clown school. I like how it's being very direct and like
like
Kind of
you
sarcastic.
think.
bringing to light of your thoughts, right? Like this is your thought and how you see it, right? But let's see what we need to study here. Well, you still need to check, right? Are there any schools, classes? Okay, so it's still telling you that you need to go back and do some research. Assuming because we went ahead and just randomized the idea that we already had, this is probably telling us to go, all right, go back to ideate and run it through there first and see what comes out. But next 7 days, it already has a potential plan for us. Define who ideal customers are. Adults who are 18 to 35 do party or entertainment, and kids that are 8 to 12 who love performing arts. Okay, that's actually an interesting one. Write a 1-sentence value of fun, beginner, school friendly school. Okay, and it's starting to tell us to create an outreach message via WhatsApp, line because it's specific to Thailand, and potentially in person.
Interesting. I wonder who to reach out to. For a clown school.
Low key, I actually want to skip all this and see what it prompts for me to do in Lovable.
Actually, the free
free
demo class isn't that bad, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
it's like a pretty good
exactly. The
going
demo
through this.
session is actually a really good idea. Cool.
Start messaging
Right.
people
Okay.
under.
So it says, if
know.
you like, I can help you craft the exact outreach message and plan the demo session script for you. Oh, so it's actually offering to create like a script for the demo session, actually. So, all right. Can you craft up the message and the script for the demo session? How do I? So another question I want to ask is like, I understand we're reaching out to people via like standard communication channel, like line, in person, but what's like the CTA, right? Where are we sending them, or how are we capturing their information? How are we capturing their info, basically for them to sign up, because I don't have the ability to probably mistype like 100% of my words, but I love ChatGPT where it still understands all of my mistakes. So I have the ability to
Understand
keep
despite
1
all your mistakes.
million people at the same time for free. All right. Of course, it's the right question. Now it confirms the outreach message. So we're going to go ahead and reach out to people. Hey, Morgan, I'm testing a new fun idea, a beginner clown training workshop in Bangkok. It's for people who want to perform, build confidence, and add humor to events. I'm running a free small demo class next week. Want to see if it's useful. Would you like to try it or share it with someone who might? If yes, I'll send you a short sign-up form. Takes 30 seconds. I like that. And then basically it's telling me to create a form. And it's going the basic route, actually. And my form is gone. It's devalidating my idea, which is going the Google Forms route, right? So literally just ask people for their name, email, line ID, how they heard about us, and why they're interested, and what they'd like to be updated on more demo sessions or future workshops. Fantastic. And it's already given me I don't know what's going on with the screen share. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, what's next in line is it basically walks me through an itinerary for the 1 hour demo session. So literally for the first 5 minutes, it's a welcome. 15 minutes is a warm up. We got core exercises, mini group performances. We wrap up and finish up the workshop. So this actually took it into a different route from what all of us have been experiencing. And this actually low key, you could actually take this and apply it to like, I don't know, give it to one of my friends are comedians. Like I could probably just hand this off to them and they could potentially grow that into, potential extra thing that they could try out actually. Yeah. All right, cool. So just so everyone gets the idea, like this validate phase, is taking an existing idea that you already have and running it through the GPT here just to help you sort of iron out the details, to clear up the clutter from your explanations, from your mind map of an explosion, and sort of giving you bullet point actionable items. For some people, it may work. For some people, it might not work. So be very open to the different ideas it's suggesting. A lot of the ideas are actually worth listening to and worth exploring, right? Because the whole idea of validating is trying to gather the like what Alyssa's doing for her project right now, right? She's doing research. She's actually talking to people. She's actually asking questions to potential payers who would pay for the product, service, or whatever you're trying to build over time. And same thing goes for everyone. Like you can have the idea. Now it's actually to put it under a pressure test, actually figure out where your buyers are, if there are any, if there's a community for it, if you can start building that community, and working that forward.
And
so yeah,
most importantly, basically also it's testing your idea out. If it's if the people you're targeting, the people that you want to be speaking to, they come back and they respond negatively, you have to don't be delusional, just listen and adapt. Or because if your ideal customers aren't going to buy now, and imagine if you are, I don't know, like $500,000 into the project and they're still not buying, So yeah, adapt.
The other thing I was just going to add is that my getting people to come and help me validate is my pipeline for then testing the MVP with, and hopefully one day them being paying customers. So like I've posted on LinkedIn. It's got a lot of engagement, the post, and it's just like a little tactic to be like, come with me on the journey, but then hopefully then I'll make you pay for it.
Yes, that too. Yeah,
I think that's definitely a good
rope
good
them
direction.
in.
All right. Does anyone have any questions or any other ideas or other notes that they want to add?
I'm all good.
All right. Cool. If there's no other questions or any other comments to be added, I think that wraps up our week 2 of Validate. I don't have anything else further than that. We've seen it be applied to actually multiple different projects. Alyssa, it'd be maybe interesting for you to run it through Validate and maybe share your workflow later and see how that goes. And you can share it with the Discord group. And then we also made a new clown school, if anyone doesn't know yet. So that's definitely interesting. I think Calvin's gonna go red nose up
I'll be a teacher
and start that school. But yeah, appreciate everyone for your time. Thank you for joining. Oh, look, Robert's in the call too. Welcome, Robert. I saw your laugh there. All right, look forward to seeing you guys next week in the next session, and that's where we will start building. So, planning and prototyping, not building yet. Planning and prototyping. So look forward to working with you guys there. See you then. Thank you for your time.
See ya.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.